So today we'll take a look at Unit 1, Lesson 2. The objective of today's class is we will just review the yes or no and the WH questions. So it's going to be pretty basic. We'll also take a look at the direct and the indirect questions. At the end of the lesson, you or your assignment will be to talk about different challenges that you encountered. So everything that we are discussing is correlated to the assignment, okay? You can use whatever you like, but what matters is that you're able to write about different challenges that you have. Okay, or you had, whatever. Okay, it could be in the past or in the present. All right, let's get started. I'm pretty sure that probably you've tried one of these activities, either in your childhood or, somewhere, sometime in your life. As you can see, there's the golf, paddleboarding, some yoga, some, biking or triathlon. It's a bike marathon. Let's listen right here to a recording. I just want you to take a look before we listen to that recording. Take a look at the pictures versus what we have in this list from 1 to 6. So as you can see, there is the names of some people right there. What matters for you is which person is not mentioned in the recording. So you need to know which person is not mentioned in the recording, and we'll try to match the images to each physical challenge. Let's go and listen to the recording.
So, Jackie, what exactly does the stair climbing challenge involve?
Well, basically, you have to walk up 1,572 stairs, or 78 floors, until you get to the top of the Skyline building.
Right. And why did you decide to take part in this challenge?
Well, we're doing it for a good cause, raising money for local charities.
Okay, and how long do you expect to take to get to the top?
To be honest, I have absolutely no idea. I'll just be happy if I make it to the top. So, John Luke, tell me about the Palm Island Challenge. How far do you have to swim?
Well, it's about a 13-mile swim, 12.4 miles to be exact.
Wow, and a lot of swimmers compete in teams. What made you decide to do the event individually?
Well, I swam as part of a team last year and I really enjoyed it. So this year I thought I would increase the level of difficulty.
And is there anything you're worried about?
No, not really. I was a bit concerned about the wind, but the forecast looks good.
So, Astrid, how long have you been paddleboarding?
I took up paddleboarding about 2 years ago.
And was it difficult to get started?
Not really, no. Some people find it difficult to balance to start with, but if you're a surfer, it's quite straightforward.
And how exactly does the paddleboard challenge work?
Well, basically, it's a race for beginners, so it's just 2 miles long from one side of the lake to the other.
Okay, so that's the end of the recording. All right, What's the name of the activity that Jean-Luc is doing? Did somebody spoke? Aveen, I can't hear you. It says talking, but I can't hear you.
Yes, but it was key activity. It was stair climbing. The first record.
Yes. Yes. Your voice is not clear. It has some statics. It goes and then it comes.
Yeah, do you hear me now? Do you hear me now?
Yeah, right now I can hear you.
Okay. The first record was talking about stair climbing,
Yes.
about Jackie.
Yes, correct. What about what's the next one they were talking about? Jean-Luc. And what is Jean-Luc doing? He does
Palm Island.
yes, he does a Palm Island challenge.
Yes. Yes.
Great job. What about Kate? Was she
Kate,
mentioned?
yes. Kate. Yoga. Bikram
Yes.
yoga challenge.
Yes, she does yoga, but she was not mentioned in the recording.
Yes, it was not mentioned.
It's mentioned in the question, but I mean, not in the recording.
Yes.
Great job. Now, the last one is Astrid. What is she doing?
Number 2, the ultra triathlon.
They describe it as the paddle board challenge.
Paddleboard.
It's
Okay.
basic paddling. If they're surfers, they will find it easy. So, which person is not mentioned? It's basically, we said it's Kate. Let's jump into the next topic. So, next we will listen again and complete the text with what you heard from the recording. So it's pretty simple. You just need to listen and complete the text from these options that you got, okay? All right.
So, Jackie, what exactly does the stair climbing challenge involve?
Well, basically, you have to walk up 1,572 stairs or 78 floors until you get to the top of the Skyline building.
Right. And why did you decide to take part in this challenge?
Well, we're doing it for a good cause, raising money for local charities.
Okay. And how long do you expect to take to get to the top?
To be honest, I have absolutely no idea. I'll just be happy if I make it to the top.
All right. So let's just complete what we've heard together. Okay. The first one is stair climbing challenge.
Involve.
Yes, exactly. Great job. Involve. And then Jackie says 1,572.
Stairs.
Yes, stairs. Great job. And then we've got the interviewer to take part. Exactly. Genius. Now, next one. Where were you? Good. Is it for a good?
Cause.
Yes, good job. Raising money for local. What do we have?
Charities.
Yes,
charities.
Absolutely, yes. That's correct. And then the interviewer, how long do you
expect?
Yes, expect to take, yes. Last one is to be
Honest.
Yes, to be honest. Great job. Next, we will take a look at WH questions. Here. Yeah, right here. So the other slide was just a duplicate of the first one. Okay. So WH question or yes or no questions. As we already, or you guys already know, it's just a refresher. That's why I'm saying that. There is either a yes or no question in English. So the answer will be basically yes or no, that's it. Or it's going to be some sort of WH question that is specified about they want to know about either the object or the subject. Okay. So it could be why, who, where, when, etc., which, etc. So what we need to just to refresh is how the format is or the structure. And then we will do this exercise where we will just quickly say if they are yes or no questions or WH questions. So it's going to be pretty simple. To make an yes or no question, okay, directly, so direct yes or no question. What do? We flip. So we do the inversion of the subject and the auxiliary verb or the helping verb. We'll discuss more about the structure later on, and we'll discuss also the direct and the indirect for each type. But here in this exercise, we just need to identify the format. Okay, so pretty basic. As you can see, some of them are positive and few of them are negative. So the majority, they are positive. So let's get started and check if they are WH question, which they start by WH, and then you've got the helping verb, and then the subject, and then, as you know, the verb. So the first one, can we meet you at 7:30 p.m. for this one? What do you think?
Yes or no?
Yes, exactly. So yes or no. And then why can John come to the concert?
WH.
Yes, WH. And then what time are they going to leave? Again, it's WH. Do you like her?
Yes or no?
Yes. So as you can see, they are all pretty straightforward. Let's jump into the next point. Next, we said we will talk about more regarding the format of the questions. First, forming yes or no questions. To form these type of questions, we said that we need either a helping verb if they are no helping verb, or we use be, do, and have. Okay. So again, the inversion is basic. So you just flip the you put the auxiliary or the helping verb at the beginning, and then you do subject, main verb, and then the object. So pretty simple for this one. As we said right here, that this point here, if or in case there is no helping verbs, okay, we need to insert do. So either it's, for example, in the past, so he left, so we put did. Okay, if it's a regular, ing verb, or there's an gerund right here, so it's not an ing. So this is a simple present type of sentence. Does, it depends on basically your subject. And then you will take do. You do. She does, right? So it depends on your subject. If you use do or does, and also on the tense to use did, as well as it depends on if it's a negative sentence or if it's a positive sentence. Okay, so in this example, you can see he has seen the movie. If I want to make it a yes or no question, it would be, has he seen the movie? So I'm just flipping. I'm doing some inversion. And in the case of insertion, where there is no helping verbs, I have to add did. So the actual sentence is, he left at 3 a.m. And when I want to format it or reformat it to be a yes or no question, I put did, since it's past tense. So did he leave at 3 a.m.? Again, we can also use modal verbs as helping verbs. So would, should also, okay? It depends really on your preference, whatever you prefer, okay? They're all some sort of polite forms when you use the modal verb. Okay. Let's make some questions here. So we've got sentences, and we need to do either the inversion or the insertion. So we need to flip them to a yes or no question. For the process, they recommend that we first identify the main verb, and then we look if there's an auxiliary verb. So if there is a helping verb that is accompanying with the main verb, it means that you just need to do the flip. If there's no helping verb with the main verb, what do? We do the insertion. So we have to put a do insertion, okay? You can also put the modal verbs. It doesn't mean that you really have to do the do insertion, but just for this exercise sake. Okay, so let's exercise these sentences and make them yes or no type of questions. Okay, so the first one. They arrived on time. As you can see, is there a helping verb? No. We need to do a do insertion. So the do insertion really, as we said, it depends on the tense, on the subject, and if it's negative or positive. For this case, it's a past tense, so we have to insert did. And after did, we put the subject. So did they, and then your main verb, arrive. Okay, so the format is going to be infinitive, and then on time. So did they arrive on time? Next one, she has 3 children. She has 3 children. So since there is no helping verbs, that's the main verb right here, we need to do a do insertion. In this case, we have a simple present type of sentence. So we put does, because the subject is she. So she does. And if I want to flip it to a yes or no format question, I have to go with does. Does she, and then the infinitive verb. So does she have, this is the infinitive, the pure form of the verb. So does she have 3 children? Okay, so the main verb here is has. Okay. The next one is Oliver and Susie have visited Paris. As you can tell, Oliver and Susie are my subjects. Have visited. There is a helping verb accompanying the main verb, which is visited, which means in this case, we just do the inversion, which is the flip. So have Oliver and Susie visited Paris. So if we do the flip, we just flip the helping verb, we put it first, and then you put your subjects, and you leave everything else as it is. Okay, next one. Would you like to try, Aveen? Next one, number 4.
Yes. She is going to fly to Melbourne.
Mm-hmm.
Is she going to fly to Melbourne?
Excellent. Yes, absolutely. So basically, the main verb has a helping verb, so you just need to flip it. The other stays the same. The other component of the sentence. Okay, okay. Number 6. He swam in the pool. He swam in the pool. For number 6, I have to do the do insertion.
Did he swim in the pool?
Yes, absolutely. Did he swim in the pool? Great job. So for number 7, did they do yoga yesterday? Okay, did they do yoga yesterday? For this one, we don't have any helping verb, so we have to do a do insertion, although the main verb is also do, right? So this one is a bit tricky, but it's straightforward as well. So we do a do insertion, and after the do insertion, the verb goes back to the infinitive form, so the pure form of the verb. So did they do yoga yesterday? Next one is 8. John has been to Spain. This one is basically just a flip. Okay, we do the inversion. Has John been to Spain? Okay, just because we have a helping verb with it. It rained in Sydney last week. Did it rain in Sydney last week? Okay, we do the do insertion. 10, Yuzi invited you to the restaurant. Did Yuzi invite you to the restaurant? So it's also a do insertion since we don't have any helping verbs. And lastly, but not least, we have was Jimmy watching a documentary. So just a flip. Okay. Are you guys ready for the next topic or point? Everything's clear so far?
Yes.
All right. Don't be shy to, even Hamza, you can tell me if you have any question or anything. Okay. Now we have to talk about the WH questions. Of course, when you use the WH questions, you are basically asking for information regarding either the subject or the object. So the answer is not yes or no. There is a really a detailed answer somehow. Okay, so to form the question, we need the WH word and then the auxiliary or the helping verb, subject, and the main verb. So WH, helping verb, subject, and verb. As you already know, the WH questions, they can include and define specific things that we need from the object or the subjects. So what, when, which, why, who, how long, how many, how much, and so on. As of the format, as you can see here, where, did. So you can see WH, we have here helping verb, subject, verb. WH, helping verb, subject, verb, and then this one is like just, this one is an adverb, okay? Who did you call last night? So WH, helping verb, and then you get the subject and then the verb, okay, last night. This one is adverb of time. When are they planning to get there, here? Again, the same thing. How many it takes after that. How many is with a noun, and how much is also, it has to be a noun after it, not an auxiliary, okay? So those two are a bit special. So how many, and then you have your noun. How many people, how many ducks, whatever, okay? All right. So far for the format is quite simple. Let's put that into action. Okay, we've got some WH questions, but this one is a bit messy. So we just have to put them in order to make sure that we understood the format correctly. Okay, I'll give you a few seconds and then we will start. Okay, let's do some examples right here. Okay, the first one, we need to start with, what we said, the WH question first, right? So where's my WH question? It's right here, where? And then I need the helping verb. Where's my helping verb? Here is did. Just make sure that there is no other verbs with did. So since there is another one, that's the helping verb did. So where did, and then what we need, the subject, you, and then the verb, where did you go last night? Who would like to attempt the second one?
The second one, how many people
Mhm.
attended the conference?
How
Have
many
attended, okay. Yes.
people? Yes,
How
have.
many people have attended the conference?
Yes, great job. How many, we know that it needs a noun after that, and then we need the auxiliary or the helping verb, which is have, and then your verb, and then whatever the object is, so the conference. Great job. Does anybody else, Hamza, would you like to try the third one? Okay, you can write down if you can talk, okay? But you're supposed to participate a little bit. It's up to you, but it's for your points, okay? All right, next one here. So far, they're all the same thing, right? Just for number 7 here, if we look at it, how long? How long, after how long, we need the same thing, helping verb. So how long did, and then after did, we need the subject, which is John, and then the verb wait for you, okay? And the others are also the same. So 9, how are we going to travel to Madrid? They're all basically the same. Next, we got another exercise. We will practice the WH question format. We need to replace the text in bold with a question word, which is a WH question, and make any other changes. So we need to basically pick a WH question based on that word in bold. We've got what, who, when, where, how long, and why. So we need to basically plug in your WH word to make the answer to be the word in bold. Okay, I'll start the first one to clarify it. So he baked a cake for her. Okay, the answer is going to be a cake. So the WH word that I'm going to plug is what, right? And then after what, I need, as we know, a helping verb. So it's going to be did, exactly, great job. What did, and then the subject is he. Bake is the verb, and we're going to put the pure form, which is the infinitive, for her. So what did he bake for her? What did he bake for her? The next one, would you like to try it, Aveen? Ordered takeout. So I ordered takeout because I was too tired to cook. Which one we will plug in? Because we have the word because, we will plug in why. So why did you order? So this one is, why did you order takeout? The answer will be because I was too tired to cook.
I'm sorry, the connection is interrupted me.
So I'm just gonna recap for number 2. We want the answer to be what we have in bold, because I was too tired to cook. So we will pick the WH question why, and then after that we will have the auxiliary did. So why did you order takeout? The verb is going to be on an infinitive pure form, and the answer will be what we have in bold. So because I was too tired to cook. Number 3, again, she called her mother last night. So because we want to know, or the answer is going to be her mom, her mother, the plug-in will be who.
Who? Yes.
So who did she call last night? The answer will be her mom, her mother. Joanne works in the local bank. So I want the answer to be about the local bank. So where does, because she's still working, so it's more about the present. So Joanne works I'm going to put does and then the subject verb. So where does Joanne work? The answer will be Joanne works in the bank. He finished the book yesterday. So the answer will be yesterday. Since we're investigating or asking or inquiring about time, then we need to plug in when. When, and we look at the format of the sentence, we will see that it's in the past format. So it's going to be, when did he, right, my subject, when did he, verb, finish the book? So when did he finish the book? The answer would be he finished the book yesterday. And so on. So for number 6, why isn't he at work today? So that's it. And then for 7, how long have they lived in London? And then 8, the dog is in the garden. It's going to be, where is the dog? I'm investigating or inquiring about the place. What is his name? When we are inquiring about a name or a noun. I'm looking for my book. What are you looking for? Okay, so far everything is clear?
Yes.
Let's go to the next exercise or activity. Again, we will listen to a conversation about the Palm Island Challenge. And you need to answer these 3 questions in front of you. The first one is, how far does Jean-Luc have to swim? The second one, what made him decide to compete in the event? And the third one, is he worried about anything? Let's check out the recording.
So, Jean-Luc, tell me about the Palm Island Challenge. How far do you have to swim?
Well, it's about a 13-mile swim, 12.4 miles to be exact.
Wow! And a lot of swimmers compete in teams. What made you decide to do the event individually?
Well, I swam as part of a team last year and I really enjoyed it. So this year I thought I would increase the level of difficulty.
And is there anything you're worried about?
No, not really. I was a bit concerned about the wind, but the forecast looks good.
Okay. All right. So the first question, how far does he swim?
Swim 30 miles.
Yes. Exactly. And to be more precise, he said 12.4 miles, so 30 miles is also a perfect answer. The second inquiry we have, what made him decide to compete in the event?
Because he enjoyed it.
Yes, he enjoyed swimming, and he also wanted to increase his level of swimming somehow. He mentioned that he already compete in a group and he wants to be like, he wants something more challenging, basically. Just to be like more precise, but your answer is also correct. The third one is he worried about anything?
No, he isn't.
Not really. And he was only concerned about the wind, which is the forecast. Because forecast really in that sport or this challenge might affect the swimmers. All right, let's go next. Next, we have Astrid. Astrid answers questions about paddle boarding. Look at her responses. What is it a response to? So we have Astrid. We're going to listen to her. And as you can see, there's 3 questions. 2 years ago, she's talking about, and there is 4 options. I'll give you some time to take a look at everything. And then the second question is not really no. And then what was the question that she answered? This. And then that is the answer for which question. Okay. I'll start in just a minute. All right, let's get into the recording.
So, Astrid, how long have you been paddleboarding?
I took up paddleboarding about 2 years ago.
And was it difficult to get started?
Not really, no. Some people find it difficult to balance to start with, but if you're a surfer, it's quite straightforward.
And how exactly does the paddleboard challenge work?
Well, basically, it's a race for beginners, so it's just 2 miles long from one side of the lake to the other.
All right. So for the first question, 2 years ago, what was the question for this one? It's about when she first started paddleboarding. Then the answer, not really no, was to question C, which is was it difficult to get started? And then for the third one, it's a race for beginners. So it's for question A. How exactly does the paddleboard challenge work? All right, let's go to the next activity. As you can see, well, this one is more about yoga, and it's really a themed listening activity, but all right. Let's jump into the next point. For the next thing that we need to discuss is how to make indirect questions. So how to make indirect questions using the WH question format, and also how to make an indirect question using the yes or no format. So the indirect question is basically if you want to be more formal with the person that you are speaking to. So if we've got, for example, he said something interesting, and we want to just reformat it to a question, it's going to be, what did he say? Okay, in this example. So we're just inquiring about here the object. So what did he say? If I want to make it more formal with the speaker and maybe more polite as well, it's going to be you're going to insert something additional. So it's going to be an insertion. And absolutely, there is no inversion so whatsoever. You just need to add to the WH question, do you know? Or I'm wondering. And these type of formats is just telling the person that you are maybe using an indirect WH question. So you can use, for example, I'm wondering, as I said, do you know? You can add also by any chance. Yeah, you can add other things as well. But basically, you just need to use like these, or I can't remember. I'm not sure. You can say that if you want, like, for example, somebody, like, you didn't heard what was the question. Or you can say, can you tell me? Can you tell me what he said? Okay. If you are really you were not paying attention to what was the question exactly. So this is some sort of indirect WH question. So for indirect yes or no questions, we will use the same thing, but if. So if we have a yes or no question, did Mary enjoy the movie? If I want to make an indirect yes or no question to be like more formal, do you know if Mary enjoyed the movie? Okay. So do you know, or I was wondering, and then if, and then basically your subject, verb, it depends on whatever the tense is, and the movie. Pay attention right here, and it's really important that you note down that when you form an indirect WH question, the main verb is often at the end of the sentence. And if you are forming right here a yes or no question, you have to pay attention that after if, we have the subject. And then you need to reformat your verb, okay, based on the tense. So we have here past, we are just going to put it back, okay? Or you can do another thing. You can just re-put it as a sentence, so restructure it as a sentence. So it's going to be Mary enjoyed the movie. If I have this a yes or no question and I want to just to reformat the sentence as it was before it is a yes or no question, it's going to be Mary enjoyed the movie, right? So we add do you know if, and then your sentence. If you want to do an extra step just to make sure that you're putting everything accordingly and accurately, do it. So other words, we say, can you tell me if? I wonder if. I'm not sure if. He knows where the nearest supermarket is. This one is for the WH question, and as we can see that you have here the main verb at the end. I can't remember when her birthday is. So I can't remember when her birthday is. Right? So that is when it comes to the indirect questions. Let's do some practice. Right here in this practice, we will practice indirect questions. So first you should determine whether it's a WH or, it's a yes or no situation. And if it's a WH question, you just need to apply what we were spoken about. So you can add, I was wondering, or I wonder, I can't remember, whatever you would prefer to use. What matters for me is your format. So you should basically use correctly the formats, as we said, a WH, and then you put your subject and verb. So do you know WH, subject, verb? The main verb should be at the end, okay? And when it comes to yes or no, you should pay attention that you have to drop F. And when you drop F, you got your subject after that, and you reformat your main verb, and then the other component of the sentence stays the same. Let's practice. So, when is Jane's party? So I'm gonna do just like the first one. When is Jane's party? For example, I wonder when Jane's party is. Okay, so always remember the main verb is always at the end when we are doing an indirect WH. Okay, do you like this shirt? You can say, I can't remember if you like this shirt. Okay, so pay attention when you reformat the main verb as well, because we have do, it means we're all good. It's the simple format. Okay, so for example, 7, did they meet her? I wonder if they met her. Okay, is it clear for this exercise? Is it clear, everybody?
Yes.
Let's jump to the next exercise. So in this exercise, we will listen again to a recording, and then we will answer the question, then make at least one indirect question. Okay. So we have here, and the answer is yes, he did. The indirect question, I wonder if he signed up for a 30-day challenge. Okay, this is the main question. Okay, so did he sign up for a 30-day challenge? The indirect questions, I wonder if, you can choose whatever you like, but after F we said there is the subject, and then the verb reformatted based on what we've got. So signed up for, and the other stuff stays the same. And basically 2 things that you need to really take care of. Okay, you really pay attention to dropping, if it's a yes or no question, the F, your subject, and the main verb. don't forget that after if you have your subject, and then you've got your main verb, and it depends the format on your sentence. Okay, I mean your yes or no question. Okay, now I said sentence because you can flip it back as an extra step and put it back to the original format before it's a yes or no question, and then you can just add I wonder if. It's also possible. So number one, we've got, did he enjoy the first week of the challenge? So you can say, I am not sure, or I'm wondering, or I can't remember, for example. If what after if? We said he, and then the verb is enjoyed, right? The first week of the challenge. Next one is, how were the second and third weeks of the challenge? We can say, I wonder how. What's after how? I wonder how, or I can't remember how. What do we got after that? We said that we need the main verb to be at the end. So who would like to participate? So I wonder how. After how, what do we got? Subject, right? How the second and the third week of the challenge?
Where?
Were. Yeah, exactly. Okay. Next, how did he sleep? How did he sleep? If you want to just flip it, okay, or like put it back into the regular sentence. So if we said, how did he sleep? It means that he slept, right? He slept. And if I want to just do it an indirect question, you can add, for example, I wonder how he slept. Okay. So far, this is basically just to rearrange the sentences. Make sure that you really follow the format and that you can do the indirect questions, even if it's a yes or no or WH question. Okay, this is the main point for this exercise. Okay, now the subject in a sentence is the thing that performs that action of a verb, right? Where the object is, it could be a person, a thing, a place that is impacted by or involved in that action. To sum it up, like to make it more simple, the subject does the action and the object receives. Every single sentence in English language needs a subject. but not all of them requires an object. Okay. That being said, so far in this lesson, all of the questions have been object questions, which means that the answer of that question will be the object of your sentence. What do you want to do? So how do you know that it's an object? Because first of the actual answer, but secondly, if you just want to know by the structure, it's because your subject is there and your verb is there. So they're wondering, or they're inquiring about your object, okay? And yes, object could be also be a person, a thing, a noun, okay? So we also ask subject questions, not only object questions. In that case, it says right here in front of you, we don't change the order of the words, and we don't use a helping verb. So if I want to inquire about the person who did the action, you say, who told you the answer? So the question after that, the verb, and then whatever the person you're addressing, if you're talking to somebody, and then the answer, which is basically the impact or the object. The same thing, what happened last night? I'm inquiring about a subject. Okay, I want to know what is the, what happened last night? What happened last night? So the verb, and then you've got your object. Which student won the prize? This one is also a subject, okay, because they need to know exactly which student. So student is general, and they just need to know which exactly person won. So if you look here, for example, just to recap, who gave you the painting? Who, verb, the person that you're addressing the painting, okay? So this one is inquiring about who, which is the person, okay, the subject. What did Aisha give you? Aisha gave me the painting. So the answer is what here? The object, okay? Of course, there is many types of objects and many types of subjects if we want to go to details, but right here we just need to know exactly based on the logic, is it really asking about the subject or is it asking about your object, okay? All right, let's check if it's an object or a subject question. Give you a minute because that is the last exercise. Give you a minute just to look at it, and then we'll go into the answers. Okay. Who do I give this to? If I want to just check it out, okay, I give this. So that's going to be the answer. I give this to someone, right? But this someone is an object, because who's the doer? Who's the person who did the action? Me, right? And I have it in my question. So who do I give this to? The doer is me. So in that case, the question is about the object. Okay. The person or the thing that's going to be impacted, the receiver. Which movie did you watch? Which movie did you watch? You watch. Here, you've got also the same thing. We're wondering about an object. If you just imagine the answer, it's going to be an object. What do you want to do? So the one that is more tricky is who. And who requires really, you need to analyze the question. What do you want to do? You want to do. So we check the verb, want. And you're asking somebody. So this one is object. What do you want to do? I want to, and it's going to be the answer, an object. Okay, it's not going to be the doer. It's going to be a receiver of that verb, doing. Okay, who's your best friend? Number 4, who's your best friend? This one is about the subject. Okay, so the one that is more tricky are more the WH question. That is, the who question. Who is your best friend? The answer will be, my best friend is blah, blah, blah. Whatever the name of that person is. So who's your best friend? You're inquiring about a subject. Okay. The verb is, okay, that is your best friend, and if the answer is going to be about the subject, so you're inquiring about the subject. Which train can I take to the airport? This is an object, right? I am going to be the doer of the verb. So the answer will be the object of the subject. Okay. Who told you that joke? Subject. Who told you that joke? Imagine the answer. It's gonna be subject. Okay. The verb told and that joke. Don't be like tricked by the you, because you're addressing this question to someone in front of you. But it's about the subject. The subject of told, the joke. So I'm looking for the subject. You is not the subject. Okay? It's not the doer of the verb. What happened last night? Subject. Okay. This one we already discussed before. I already explained it. Who can assist me? 8. Who can assist me? Subject. Okay. I'm looking for what? The subject. We have the verb assist. Okay, assist me. What will we eat for lunch today? The answer will be an object. We eat. This is the doer and the verb. The answer is going to be an object. Who did you call yesterday? Who did the verb call? You. So the subject is already here. I'm looking for the object. So pay attention. Where's the subject exactly? Is it